And welcome back to Lane Glo Bowl in Newport Richey, Florida. It's the Stepladder Finals of the PBA50 Pasco County, Florida Open. And it's a Hall of Fame battle. Mike Jakubowski with the editor of Bowler's Journal, John Mark Manzione. John Mark, we saw this, I believe, 2 seasons ago at the Villages.
Yeah.
It's an all Hall of Fame Stepladder final.
Yeah.
16 games of qualifying and all through our competition today, and it comes down to 5 Hall of Famers battling for the title.
And I'm pretty sure the combined total of PBA titles here trumps the one we saw at the Villages 2 years ago. 171 combined PBA Tour titles. Amazing.
Do us a favor right now and go on Twitter and go on Facebook and go on Instagram and all social networking and let all of your friends know, everyone that's watching on Xtra Frame right now, do a screen grab, do something, and let folks know that you're watching this great final. I just tweeted about it and placed something on the PBA Facebook fan page. Share and let everybody know, and we want to spread the word on this. It's an epic battle coming your way, and here is your lineup for tonight. The opening match is going to be Pete Weber versus Johnny Petraglia.
Are you kidding me? I'll take it. And Johnny, of course, looking to become the oldest ever PBA 50 champion in history at 69 years old. Currently, the record is age 66 and 358 days, set by James Brenner in 2006, who Mr. Brenner passed away in late February. Johnny looking to eclipse that record by years.
He's won 37 titles on the PBA Tour. Only player to win the PBA Triple Crown twice. Member of both the PBA and USDC Halls of Fame, along with Johnny Petraglia. He was our 2015 PBA 50 Player of the Year, Pete Weber. It's going to be a great match, guys. Good luck.
It's a stepladder battle. Our opening match, Johnny Petraglia from the left, Pete Weber from the right.
Johnny enters with towel draped over shoulder, ready to get to work, Mike J. And here we go. Very nice opening shot from Johnny. One of the questions with Johnny throughout the week, and has really been, is he going to carry those 7 pins on those pocket hits? And at times the carry has bedeviled him, as it did on that one shot. But if he keeps putting it in the hole, he's doing what he can do to survive this murderer's row of finals.
And Johnny taking the long route to this stepladder final. He qualified in 36th position, averaging just a shade under 220 per game, and a missed 7 pin to start.
That's a dagger. It's a dagger. But you know what? If you're going to miss a 7 pin, miss it in the opening frame, dust it off, brush it off, and get right back to work.
Johnny qualifying at 36, getting into the cashier's qualifying round, and getting through both rounds of match play to become the 5th seed. Now Pete Weber opening shot.
Well, Pete Weber's going to stomp on that open.
Oh, 6 around the 10. Pete Weber qualified 15th out of the field of 152. 228.1 for Weber, and he got a bye into the first round of match play. And there's the 6 around the 10. Classic ringing 10. Pete covers the spare.
Check out the crowd, folks, here at Lane Glo Bowl in Newport Richey, Florida. It's been quite the turnout this week.
Thanks for the support of the Lane Glo family, and Gary Beck already announcing this will open the 2017 PBA 50 Tour, and the extensive renovations being done here. You see the new lane surfaces and everything being done with the bowlers looking ahead, and everything will be completed in back of the bowlers in lounge and gaming, and everything else here at Lane Glo should be completed by next year by the time we return. And now a 10 of the flat variety for Weber.
Well, no one's having trouble getting the ball to the hole. They're just having trouble getting the corner pins to do them justice. All right, I expect Johnny P to brush that open off and get right to work. Here's a lot on the line for Johnny, trying to become the oldest ever PBA 50 champion at age 69. There you go. Carries that 7 pin. The beautiful, timeless, classic, iconic form of Johnny Petraglia. You know how Jerry West is the logo for the NBA? I really think if anyone was going to be the logo for the PBA, it's this man right here. That finish at the foul line is as classic as it gets.
John missing the 7-pin in the first strike in this match. Can double up third frame.
Not a great shot, but a great result. Little unsteady at the foul line there. But he posted it as best he could and got the results he hoped for. So a double, big double from Johnny now, given that PDW opened with consecutive spares. So PDW is going to want to start striking here as well.
Petraglia even things up with the double. The winner here gets Parker Bohn III along the stepladder at the Pasco
great.
County,
Here's your
Florida
gift.
Open.
Bowl a guy with 35 PBA Tour titles.
10-pin.
You got to be kidding me. Oh, my
Eventually.
goodness.
Eventually goes.
All right.
Extra look.
Boy, did it take its sweet time, though, Mike J.
There was a congregation over there.
It was, yep. And a little gives the crowd a little tood. And back to work.
So a fun trip for either Weber or Petraglia up the ladder. Bohn, Walter Ray, and Norm Duke ahead of them.
Beautiful shot from PDW and an appreciative crowd behind it.
Extra look. The path to the pocket.
These have been really beautiful, solid shots from Pete, and I expect to see nothing less from him for the duration of the match. All right. I think Johnny's going to keep putting it in the hole. It's just, you know, is he going to carry the 7-pin enough to pull it out? Another very good shot there. Oh, yeah, he slaps that 7 out. There you go.
Brings out the foot for good measure.
No, why not? That was a little more stable at the line on that shot, and definitely like the result.
Taking the long route, 16 games in 2 days of qualifying, 5 games of cashers qualifying, another 11 in match play. That's 16, 32 total games, 33rd game for Petraglia. Turkey working.
Oh, that was a nice shot. Very nice, and yet does not carry the 7-pin. He looked much better at the line there than on the previous 2 shots. Bang. Beautiful posting of the shot. What are you going to do? He did everything right. What he's going to want to do right now is definitely convert this as he failed to do in the opening frame. There you go, Johnny. All right. 3 in a row spare. 88 in the 4th for Johnny P. And Pete, who is dialed in. Question again for him after his first 2 frames. Will he carry the corner pin? He's definitely going to keep putting it in the hole. That much seems to be clear. Pete Weber stepping up for his 5th frame shot.
Oh. And a 10-pin. So Weber battling with the 10, John with the 7.
Boy, this is going to be a carry contest, Mike J.
On the fresh application of the PBA50 Scorpion pattern out to 47 feet. A little slightly lower volume than you'd see in a PBA Tour event. We'll see a PBA Tour event coming up Saturday and Sunday. It's the PBA Xtra Frame Storm Open from Liberty Lanes in Carpentersville, Illinois. Join Phil Brylow with Randy Peterson and Dwight Albrecht Saturday and Sunday live on Xtra Frame, qualifying match play and finals for a PBA Tour title and a guaranteed 5-figure first prize. Saturday and Sunday live on Xtra Frame. Now Weber in the 6th. The timeless style of Pete Weber.
Yeah, no doubt.
Big thanks to everyone here at Lane Glo Bowl on an extra look. Very efficient. 20-pin lead for Weber as Johnny Petraglia works in the 6th.
Another beautiful shot from Johnny. Carries that 7. You can see him waiting to find out if the 7 will be slapped out on these shots. Right here, you see him thinking about that 7-pin. And Finally, it does get slapped out. He gives it a little shoulder English. That made all the difference, Mike J.
No question. Nice stop action from our director, producer, Jeff Goodyear, Mike Jakubowski, and John Mark Manzione. We welcome you to Lane Glo Bowl here in Newport Richey, Florida. It's the opening event of the PBA 50 Tour, also PBA 50 Tour action resuming on Sunday in the Villages.
Uh-oh, that's a tug, guys. That's a tug. Yeah.
2-4, 7-8.
And what a brutal spare leaf, Mike J. This is a really tough moment for Johnny here. A tug shot. You've got that back pin to be thinking about on the attempt to convert the spare. Our first errant shot of the match here comes from Petraglia in frame number 7. That's got to hurry up. Oh, and he converts. A very difficult. Can't even explain how tough a spare conversion that is, even on a house shot, no less a PBA 50 condition. And textbook from Johnny P. Clutch spare conversion there.
John Mark, where do you place Pete Weber among the pantheon of all-time PBA greats?
Well, the thing that impresses me so much about Pete Weber, Mike J, is how he had to reinvent his game with the advent of reactive equipment and altered his release to the extent that he was able to create that really unique axis rotation of his. And for him to put in the work in order to do that, to elongate his career to the extent that he has, is extraordinary. So for me, he belongs on the Mount Rushmore of PBA greats.
About 11 at the arrows, and another 10-pin.
Yeah, lane 24 is just not having it with Pete Weber today. And now we're all tied up in the 6th, and how big a miss was that for Johnny P? He'd have a 10-pin lead right now if he had converted that spare.
Parker Bohn III next along the stepladder. Walter A. Williams Jr. and Norm Duke yet to come at the PBA 50 Pasco County, Florida Open.
That was a tug from Pete. Almost left the 3-6-9-10. So Tug City on lane 23.
Yeah, that was at least 2 boards inside where he was on the right lane.
Yeah, there's going to be some hard contemplation for both players when they step up next on lane 23. All right, converts the spare, and now here's an opening for Johnny. I think we may have just heard Pete Weber say that ball hooked 5 feet earlier than his prior shot on lane 23, so maybe he thinks he's seeing some transition. It looked to me like a tug off his hand, as that shot did, by the way. Oh, what a break for Johnny P.
6-8, erased.
Check it out, folks. Little Johnny P magic here, and he knows it's a little bit of a tug off his hand. You can tell from his body language he's not so sure about it, and then he trips that, and back row pin out of the way. Stubborn 8-pin falls for Johnny P. That was a better shot. Oh, my goodness.
Pocket 7-9.
I'm stunned.
Out of the possibilities, I did not see a pocket 7-9.
In the foundation frame, it's just devastating. Just devastating. I don't know what else to say. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Best you can do is 0-6. Lane 23 was the dagger this match for both players, really, but particularly for Johnny.
Pete Weber pacing at 205. Johnny can max at 206. Winner gets Parker Bohn III, opening match here, the Pasco County, Florida Open. And Weber drills it straight back.
Big shot for Pete. That was his best shot of the match for my money, guys. Just absolutely beautiful. Still needs a strike here, though, doesn't he, Mike J?
to lock him out, yes, and that'll do it.
Yeah. All right, so Pete Weber will be moving on to face Parker Bohn III in yet another star-studded match here in this Stepladder finals of 171 combined PBA Tour titles.
Pete goes pack in the 9th and 10th to shut out Johnny Petraglia. And we'll move along.
On the stunning pocket 7-9 by Johnny in the 9th frame. Unreal.
Johnny Petraglia, member of both the PBA and the USBC Hall of Fame, owner of 14 PBA Tour and 8 PBA50 Tour titles. One of 6 PBA Tour Triple Crown winners. Pete's won it twice. John won the 2012 PBA50 Dayton Classic, and I was there. And John becoming the only player to win a national title in each of 6 decades. Amazing man, and how do you rate Johnny Petraglia among the great ambassadors of the game? And I also would include Dick Weber in that
I would rank him up there with Dick Weber as an ambassador of the game. Johnny P. at age 69 keeps as busy a schedule as anyone in the business. So no doubt, Johnny is constantly out on the road preaching the gospel of bowling.
.225 for Pete Weber. And a 193 finish for Johnny Petraglia. And we welcome you to Lane Glo Bowl in Port Richey, Florida. Mike Jakubowski with John Mark Manzione. And an incredible evening for folks on Xtra Frame and for us here as well. We feel like little kids again.
Absolutely.
Getting a chance. And no matter what the format and no matter how you break up match play and no matter how many games you bowl, the greatest find themselves in a position to win. And now we look forward to Pete Weber moving up the ladder and to face Parker Bohn III, a classic battle, once again from the left and the right.
Right, Parker with 35 titles, Pete with 37, so it's just a battle of legends for sure. And you're absolutely right, Mike Shai came into the center knowing that the removal of the Guardian, the replacement of these older lanes with pristine lanes in the center would have very little bearing on the outcome, because you knew that the Hall of Famers would still find their way to the top of this leaderboard as they have done this week.
Coming up, Pete Weber versus Parker Bohn III, Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Norm Duke, twice runner-up in this event, will bowl for this title. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Xtra Frame, and our next Stepladder final is coming. Pete Weber versus Parker Bohn III.
Here we go.
PBA50 Pasco County, Florida Open rolls on, and Parker Bohn III getting set to face Hall of Famer Pete Weber, Mike Jakubowski with Gary Beck of Killer Bee Promotions. And Gary, the sponsorship and the local involvement here at the Pasco County Florida Open continues to grow, and we have an announcement for 2017.
We're coming back. It'll be our fifth event, April 15th, tax day, through the 20th next year.
So we have a season opener already on the 2017 PBA50 Tour, and really what makes this such a special event is the local involvement, and you've really been an instrumental part of engaging the local community, the fans and the business community in support of this event.
Interestingly enough, this started with the Teen Masters. Jim Magazine, an attorney in this area, his daughter bowled in the Teen Masters for several years, and he and I were having coffee one day, and he's like, we should bring the PBA Tour to where I live, and we're year 4 now.
It's a good coffee conversation. Here we go. Parker Bohn, the third seed, is elected to begin, and he will open up on the left-hand lane facing Pete Weber. Walter E. Williams Jr. is waiting in the semifinal. Norm Duke will bowl for the title against the survivor. Solid. Extra look. Beautiful time of the year, April, to come down to Florida. And all the players have enjoyed their time here. Pete Weber, his opening shot, and a strike apiece. And it really does make a difference when you have players coming to town, and the economic impact of the professional sporting event turns heads when you're doing business with folks in town.
Absolutely, and Pasco County Tourism Development has been instrumental in our being able to bring this event back year after year. I'm noticing Pete on camera looks like he might have a little bit of a tan. I think he's been out enjoying the golf courses here since his arrival last week. It's obviously thrown off his bowling game.
Not much. Strike apiece, and ball clearly through the pins. Maybe a bit of a tug, but plenty of hold on this 47-foot PBA 50 scorpion pattern, and that ball hits high flush.
Yeah, we have quite a string going here. Bob Learn, first year. Amleto, second year. Parker Bohn, the third. He, I guess, could be our first repeat. But we're pretty much a lock to have another name player. Maybe somebody people will recognize winning again this year.
You know, I have a hard time. Norm Duke is waiting for whoever survives his stepladder, and Norm has been the bridesmaid back-to-back years here.
Third time's charm, is that what they say?
That's a possibility, a strong one at that. And all strikes, double apiece for Parker Bohn the third, and Pete Weber, Mike Jakubowski with Killer Bee Promotions, Gary Beck. And we're live at Lane Glo Bowl. We're glad you're with us live on Extra Frame. Here's Parker Bohn the third in the third frame. Stepladder battle as we compete for the title of the PBA50 Pasco County Florida Open. First non-strike is a 6-pin. More action coming up in Florida, Gary, with the Teen Masters program.
Absolutely. We're back in Fort Lauderdale in July. Heard a rumor Xtra Frame will be there. Actually, there's construction going on right now, moving high-speed internet into Sawgrass Lanes so that we have the capability of doing high definition.
We love the high definition.
This weekend is the last weekend of qualifying events, and starting on Sunday night, we'll have our largest event we've had since 2009, but we do still have a few spots available, and direct entries will open. So we are looking for the top high school kids in the country who are ready to step up to our unique challenge.
Weber wasn't thrilled with the shot. Flat 10. Here's another look. About 11 at the arrows, and just didn't have enough to kick the 10. Roller no. Gary, participation up significantly this year. 152, just shy of a shutout here at Pasco County.
Well, I don't know if you guys have talked about it, but Lane Glo's gone through quite a bit of renovation already, and they're not done yet. But they've got brand new lanes. This is a PBA 50 event. Previously, they had Guardian, and Guardian is a little higher friction than pure synthetics and takes more ball speed. So there were seniors who felt they could not be competitive. But that barrier to participation is gone, and we had a 34% increase in participation this year. So it's been really great to see, and obviously Pasco County's happy.
So Weber strikes in the fourth. Players have matched. Parker stepping up now. Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Norm Duke yet to come on the All Hall of Fame final here at Pasco County. We'll head up to the Villages on Sunday for the United Healthcare Sun Bowl in the Villages. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And great crowd support here too. Fans of Pasco County have stepped up.
We've had good turnout all week. We had our best pro-am ever. We're already working on next year, obviously. The Champions Clinic was a huge hit. And
preceding this match, we got to see pros and the AMs team together in Baker doubles. Nice component of this Pasco County, Florida Open. Second stepladder match. And here's Parker Bohn the third towing the line in the beer frame. Boom. Look at Parker. Sometimes, most times, I just don't put him at 50 plus. Weber needs a strike to match. This is a good one. Extra look. And if we showed both of those replays in succession, not a lot of difference between ball at the arrows and ball in the pocket for Pete Weber. Each player 4 to 5 strikes. We're dead even. Walter Ray Williams Jr. is next in the semifinal. First poor result, resulting in the 3-6-10. A little easier to make without the 9-pin behind it. I've really enjoyed Pete's interactions with the fans here this week. Pete is becoming more of a chip off the old block, and I think he's settling into the ambassador role fairly well.
I would agree.
It's fun to watch him.
He's even being nicer to me.
Parker Bohn the third, strikes working, can increase a lead 6 frame. No doubt.
All joking aside, we had the Corporate Charity Challenge on Saturday, sponsored by Lucas Magazine, and Jim Magazine requested that Pete bowl with his young daughter, and they had a great time. Pete's becoming quite a showman.
Parker's got a 13-pin lead, can extend to 23 with another strike in the 7th frame. Seven pin. And a magical run by John Petraglia. The man continues to amaze. 16 games the first 2 days. And then he bowled 16 more through cashers and 2 rounds of match play. So John bowled 32 to get to the stepladder. And a great run for a great Hall of Famer.
He and I were talking before the tournament even started, and he was talking about how he's slowing down. And after each round, I kept coming up to him and going, when is that slowdown starting?
Weber with a strike. Funny, I had a similar conversation with John, and I was coming into this event, Extra Look, and he said, there's so much to do, I can't slow down. Important shot here for Weber. He's got a strike. He can cut the lead of Parker Bohn to single pins. He trails by 12, and a strike would cut the lead to 2. This kind of reminds me of Saturday afternoons on ABC, Gary.
How long has that been? 95?
A while. Uh-oh. 2-8-10. Likely a reaction to the 3-6-10 last time on the left lane. Gave it a little more, and that's what happens on a 47-foot pattern. 2-8-10.
Well, he wasn't happy with that as soon as it came off of his hand.
Big open with a chance to cut into the Parker Bohn lead, and Parker now in control. And up by 24. And as you'd expect, when the opponent gives you an opening, you jump on it. And Parker gets the front half with this strike. Mike Jakubowski with Killer Bee Promotions' Gary Beck as we roll on here at Lane Glo Bowl. Our producer-director is the internet bowling personality, Jeff Goodyer. And John Mark Manzione will be back, editor of Bowler's Journal, in our semifinal.
Where's he going to sit?
Maybe he'll take over for me.
I could get up and leave.
And the double, the open frame, and Parker jumps on it with a double. Now Pete Weber, 224 max. Likely too little, too late for Pete Weber.
Ball return 23.
Old school call of ball return by Pete. Gives us a chance to remind you about the great programming coming up this month on Xtra Frame. We're just getting started in the month of April. Coming up next weekend, we've got the PBA Tour in action at the PBA Xtra Frame Storm Open. Qualifying and match play Saturday and Sunday from Liberty Lanes in Carpentersville, Illinois. Join Phil Brilo with Randy Peterson and Dwight Albrecht. And then the PBA50 United Healthcare Sun Bowl in the Villages beginning next Sunday. Qualifying Sunday, Monday, and then the Matrix of Fairness will be in operation on Tuesday. And Weber in the 220s. 224. Nine out would be 225, so Bohn doesn't even need a mark. Stay clear of the Big Four or the Greek Church or a washout. I've seen no indication that that is in Parker's future. And that is a winner. Parker Bohn advances to the semifinal and will face Walter Ray Williams Jr. Gary, thank you so much. It's always good to see you. You're a bundle of energy, and your support of youth bowling and support of bowling in general over the years. And
young people and old people.
I both enjoy seeing you, and I'm horrified at the prospect of all the work that awaits.
And I like your new hat.
I honestly went shopping, and I said I want my best Gary Beck look, and I found my hat.
I'm glad you finally have a decent fedora.
Hey, I'm in Florida. I had to spice up the look a little bit.
You have to worry about your hat messing up your hair, though.
That's true.
I have the benefit of not worrying about that at all.
I've had horrible headset hair over the course of this event.
What do we got? Next three guys have over 100 titles?
Over 100 titles.
Oh my God.
On the PBA tours. We battled for a PBA50 title.
See if you can make this exciting for us, all right?
Easy, breezy. Gary Beck, thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with the semifinal match as Parker Bohn III will face Walter Ray Williams Jr. next, live on Extra Frame.
Our tournament leader. So Walter Ray is going to receive 6 shots. And we'll just come out on that underway. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to start semifinal match 2 here at Lane Glo Bowl. This is the great Walter Ray Williams Jr. He's won 47 times on the PBA Tour, more than anyone in the history of the PBA. He's been voted Bowler of the Year 7 years. He's a member of both the PBA and USBC Hall of Fame and past Player of the Year on the PBA50 Tour as well. Walter Ray Williams Jr. everyone. Good luck, guys.
The Weber tracker in effect as our esteemed tournament director making things happen. Mike Jakubowski with John Mark Manzione. Who do you think Chuck Gardner gave the better advice to here?
Great question. I'm sure he divvied it up equally.
Parker Bohn III versus Walter Ray Williams Jr. The higher seed indicates that Parker will begin. Here we go. Semifinal at the PBA50 Pasco County Open. Mixing strike for Parker. Now Walter Ray Williams Jr. qualified at 16th out of the field of 152. He came through match play round 1 and 2 to earn his way here.
And that's a shot that he used to make it this deep in the tournament, Mike J. Tugging it into all that volume in the middle of the lane and watching it lay there. Nicely done, Walter.
Bang, bang for Walter Ray Williams Jr. Parker Bohn III had the benefit of 2 buys as he finished 3rd on the squad of 152 and giving him 2 buys right into the second round of match play. And Parker the benefit of the rest. Now in the second frame against that Walter Ray double strike of his own is up and working. Tomahawk. Norm Duke awaits the winner of the semifinal and will bowl for this title for the 3rd consecutive year. Norm keeping loose
there
down
he is
on the low end.
Strategic re-rack, which of course will knock the 47-time PBA titleist off his game.
We'll be heading up to the Villages, Florida on Sunday. Jeff Goodger with Craig Elliott and John Mark Manzione as the United Healthcare Sun Bowl in the Villages, qualifying Sunday and Monday, and the Matrix of Fairness and Stepladder final on Tuesday, live on Xtra Frame. Second stop of the 2016 PBA50 Tour, just a touch high, 6-pin.
Yeah, Parker turns his back on those potential messengers a little too prematurely. As that's the second time this Stepladder finals and he's turned his back, and the crowd's been oohing and eyeing at the potential messenger. The crowd hoisting their children into the air, who themselves are, of course, clapping, can barely contain themselves.
Greatest of all time, toes the line, 3rd frame. Outside part of the lane, asked it to lay off, and just enough.
Boy, did he ever. That ball started screaming through the mid lane, and Walter was a tad concerned, but all's well that ends well. Yeah, he had given up on that strike, on that shot at the very end, but it struck for him.
Have you known anyone with more of a will to win than this man?
Yeah, it's very true. And yet Chuck Gardner conceded earlier today that Walter Ray Williams Jr. is his own toughest critic.
And Bohn.
Yeah, that was a very nice shot. Posted it up. When he posts like just like that, he knows it was a fine shot off his hand.
Timeless style of Parker Bohn III, and another 10 straight back. Will Walter Ray Williams Jr. give him an opening?
Wow. Two thunderous, absolutely pured strikes from Parker Bohn. Going to keep Walter on his toes. Bang. Wow.
Confident stroke of Walter Ray Williams Jr. Right up 5.
Wow. And yeah, effortless, convincing front 6, Mike J, from Walter Ray. Goodness gracious, looking good.
Just one non-strike, the difference here. That 6-pin for Parker back in the 3rd. Norm Duke is waiting to bowl the winner of this match for this title.
If you're a professional bowler, you never like to hear the words Norm Duke is waiting.
Tomahawks to 10. Similar hit on the right lane the last time. Extra look at that ball just a little higher on the head pin that creates that effect.
And of course, some more psychological gymnastics from Parker Bohn III, getting in that noggin of the GOAT with the re-rack.
How many times, how many cities have these two met each other head to head in position rounds, match plays, television finals? You get to see it live on Xtra Frame. 7th frame semifinal match.
Boy, did that ball check up on him. Almost just seemed to almost hook off his hand, Mike J. Barreled through the mid lane, read the lane awfully early. Right about there, it just starts, yeah, eating away at the pattern. Well, didn't look like that bad a shot right away off his hand, so Parker may have to make a move here on 23. Oh my goodness, what a blow to Parker Bohn III, chopping the spare. Gosh, how costly is that in a match between legends, Mike J?
Especially with Walter Ray on the front
Seriously,
6.
yeah.
Talk about the 47 titles on the PBA Tour. Walter Ray also the 2012 and 2013 PBA 50 Player of the Year, 7th frame. Oh, and he leaves a 9-pin.
Not happy about that.
Walter Ray, one of 4 players to earn PBA and PBA 50 Player of the Year honors. Walter Ray owns 9 PBA 50 Tour titles, looking for his 10th here tonight. John Handegaard is the all-time PBA 50 Tour titleist with 14.
Yeah, Handegaard's also getting a little nervous these days, don't you think?
Walter Ray member of both the PBA and USBC Hall of Fame. His 47 PBA Tour titles include 8 majors. Walter Ray also has 32 regional and 6 PBA50 regional titles, and a record 7-time Chris Schenkel PBA Player of the Year. Walter Ray in command to set up the epic battle of right-handers in the title match. All Parker can do is fill it up and hope for one of those April thunderstorms.
Yeah, he's going to have to make a move here on 23 if he's going to fill him up, though, Mike J. That last shot he threw on 23 read the pattern awfully aggressively. So
Bohn can max at 245. Walter Ray pacing at 249. Parker's got to have them all.
Yeah. Much better shot from Parker on 23.
Walter Ray will finish first. The magic number, 246 to advance. A couple clean frames will get the job done.
That's got to lay off, and it does. Walter knew it too. And keep in mind, recall, Mike J., Walter kind of plodded through his first block in this tournament and was rather disgruntled with what he described as these sort of cliffed, wet, dry conditions he was facing out there, and was really down on himself. But boy, did he turn things around in a hurry in the next block, and here he is on the verge of bowling the title match.
And that'll do it. Walter Ray Williams Jr. has defeated Parker Bohn III and will bowl Norm Duke. Let me repeat that. For the PBA50 Pasco County, Florida Open title, Walter Ray Williams Jr. versus Norm Duke, coming next live on Xtra Frame. Defending champion Parker Bohn will go down to defeat here. He beat Norm Duke in the championship match here last year. Parker also a member of the PBA and USBC Halls of Fame. He has 3 PBA 50 Tour titles, 2-time PBA Player of the Year, and a consistent force still on both major tours. Coming up next, the title match at the PBA50 Pasco County Open. It's Norm Duke versus Walter Ray Williams Jr. Battle of all-time greats, and you are watching it live on Xtra Frame. Final practice shots. Title match coming, PBA50 Pasco County, Florida Open. We're at Lane Glo Bowl in Newport Richey, Florida. And final warm-up shots as we welcome you inside. And it's Mike Jakubowski with Bowler's Journal editor Jean-Marc Manzione. And a very interesting battle here. Both players entirely capable of working the outside part of the lane.
Yeah.
Either player, I believe, impervious to some of the natures of professional bowling, but a compelling matchup, and it's for a title.
Yeah, compelling for a couple reasons. For Walter, this would be his 10th PBA 50 title. For Norm Duke, if he finishes runner-up again, that's 3 times in a row that he finishes second at this very event. I don't think that he wants to leave today thinking about that particular stat. He wants to win, and I would say perhaps my money's even on Duke to pull through. Third time will be a charm.
Players may be on top of each other here. What do you see as a potential?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think if Duke can get set up, just piping the ball up the 5 board, I think he's going to be darn near impossible to beat, even though Walter looks great from the even further right of Duke so far, pounding the front 6 and bowling a 258.
Let's get it on. Pasco County is ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. Walter Ray Williams Jr., Norm
Look at
Duke.
Walter's face. He's ready.
2 of the greatest in PBA history go at it for a title on the senior circuit PBA 50 Tour action. Norm calls his own number, and he will start.
Nice shot.
Mixing strike for Duke.
He's throwing tons of mixing strikes for the wheat throughout his career. This is the all-time classic Norm Duke strike hit right there, baby. Walter, meanwhile, has just been pummeling the pocket so far.
Oh, in the
Yeah,
nose.
see, we've seen Walter leave a big 4 here and there this week. I expect between the two of them, if anyone is going to be susceptible to error, it's going to be a ball checking up high on Walter and leaving an even more disastrous spare combo than that one. He darn near left a nearly impossible 4-6-10 on that shot. Oh, I don't want to chop that one. He knows it. He got it.
Looks like he came up the back of the ball
Yeah,
on
backs
almost
it
a
up a little
back
bit. Yep.
release. Yeah.
Mhm.
Spare converted.
And we saw that shot burning up for Walter in the last game. I think the transition is going to be something he's really going to have to kind of feverishly work to stay on top of in this match, particularly on 24, which seems to be the more burned up lane for Walter.
Walter Ray, couple spares. Norm Duke, strike up. Two-time runner-up at this Pasco County, Florida Open. Looking for his third PBA50 title. Mixing, avoids the 2-8-10. Double wood, though. Norm Duke qualified 20th out of 152, which entitled him to a 1-round bye. Got through match play rounds 1 and 2 to charge to the top of the leaderboard and earn this chance to bowl for the title.
Oh boy. Oh boy, that's got to hurry, folks, and it does. And just whispers that double wood down. My goodness. And the crowd's giving him the business.
A lot of New York transplants down here, Jean-Marc.
Yeah.
He caught the backside of
Oh
the
my
two-pin.
goodness.
By USBC rule as a slash in the box.
Indeed. That's got to hold, and it does.
Yeah, it does.
Beautiful.
'Cause that's the question for me, is Walter Ray creating some play out there, and both gentlemen would like to be in the same spot.
Well, right now, 24 appears to be the tighter lane for Duke and the more burned up lane for Walter. And Walter, I'm going to see what he's going to do here. Does he move in a pinch, or does he just get firmer with it? Oh, boy. Yeah, he's going to have to make a decision here on lane 24, guys, because what he's doing right now isn't working. That seemed to be a very similar shot to the last one. Doesn't seem like he made any moves. Perhaps he felt that he had thrown the errant shot on 24, and he didn't blame the result on the lane itself. But he may have been wrong in that judgment. And I think it's time for a move on 24 for Walter. Nice shot.
Dead flush. Duke with a strike up. Leads by 3, can extend it to 13, title match.
And here's where he left the double wood last frame. So does Duke make any kind of a move here to adjust off of that result? Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my
7-10
goodness. Oh my
splits.
goodness. And boy, how badly did he want that messenger to topple the 10 at least? Okay. Might as well fire at it. I think he's going to. Oh, yeah, he's going for it. Oh, man, all right.
Open frame for Duke on the pocket 7-10. And a small lead now becomes a small deficit. Walter Ray is up by 9.
And yeah, Walter looks for the moment at least a tad lost on 24, so I think this still is anyone's match despite that setback for Duke. There's another fine shot on 23 from Duke, although a wrap 10.
If you just joined us, it's the title match of the PBA 50 Pasco County, Florida Open. It's Walter Ray Williams Jr. versus Norm Duke.
Yeah, Walter Ray, who just stood cross-armed pondering this lane before stepping up to the ball return, so you know he's thinking about it. He's going to want to make a decision here. Let's see what adjustment, if any, he makes.
It's been going high. He's got to do something different. And
oh, and topples that 7-pin.
Perhaps just a tad more direct.
Yeah, I think so. I think he went a little bit more up the back of the ball there, more direct, more speed. He doesn't seem to want to move off of that spot, so his hand position and ball speed are the adjustments for Walter on 24. .23, he's sitting pretty, so well, and
just a pin
checks
shot.
up. Yeah, there you go, a 4-pin for Walter on 23. Sure looked good. Man, rough break for Walter there. And you know he wanted the double after that open frame too. So many doubters in this crowd. Owing a 47-time titleist attempting to pick up a 4-pin. And he hits it right on the button too. Boom. Gotta love the faith of the crowd.
Norm sorely needs a double to let Walter Ray know he's still around.
He needs his ball to turn the corner down lane on 24, and he just can't do it. He just cannot get the ball to turn the corner down lane on lane 24. 24, man, it's going to be the deciding factor in this game for both players. My goodness.
With a spare, Norm Duke will trail by 19. Four frames remaining. Walter Ray clean with a double. The difference in this match. Walter Ray gunning for his 10th career PBA 50 Tour title.
Nice shot. That's his best shot of the match, guys. They both feel pretty comfortable on that left lane. Neither of them is anywhere near comfortable on 24. All right, so last shot we knew Walter did seem to go a little more direct, a little more ball speed, a little more up the back of the ball to overcome those couple of high shots he threw for eight count spares. I guess I expect to see more of the same here from Walter, although he seems to be thinking about it a little bit. And you can't blame him. He really needs to capitalize on Norm Duke's 6th frame. Maybe he just made a little pinch of a move with his feet. Oh boy, he doesn't like it. And look at that, it collapses the big 4 on that shot.
Cave the rack, big break for Williams.
It's just an interesting contrast here, Mike J. Walter can't get the ball to lay off on 24, and Norm can't get it to turn the corner on 24. He seems to be shifting around with his feet on 23 as well. It's, oh boy, it's got to lay off, and there you go.
Walter Ray now leads by 31 in the title match.
That's a clutch double for Walter, Mike J. Not that you've ever in your career seen a clutch double from the GOAT.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
Back against the wall for Duke, trails by 31.
Yep.
225 max. Walter Ray pacing in the 2 teens. 24 has been the issue. Can Norm find a strike here and cut into the lead, 8th frame?
Much better shot from Norm on 24. He shoveled it at the release there, guys. Put a lot more hand into it. He was going to will that ball into the pocket. Just stuffed it right in there. Parker re-racked twice on 23. Norm's re-racking now. Perhaps neither player entirely likes the rack, the look of the rack on that lane. Beautiful shot. Just gorgeous.
And the lead is 11. Extra look. Got a perfect shot by Norm Duke. And this is the last crack at this right lane, and could be the difference. Can Walter Ray keep it off the nose? Double working. He's up by 11, foundation frame. And he delivers.
By far his best shot on lane 24. Would you agree, Mike J?
Yes, indeed. He knew it right off his hand.
That may be your winner right there, just for Walter to figure it out on 24 in such a clutch situation.
Walter will get a fresh set. The best Norm Duke can do is 225. Nine spare strike for Walter Ray would be 225, so strike on this ball. Walter Ray claims it his 10th PBA50 title. And he got it. Walter Ray Williams Jr. double digits. The 47-time titleist on the PBA Tour, just gone double digit as a senior, his 10th PBA50 title. And Norm Duke will have to settle for bridesmaid 3 consecutive years.
A three-peat he hoped never to achieve.
At Pasco County. Stick around for our check and trophy presentation. We'll also have an interview with our champion and John Mark Manzione, and we'll step off and set up for that Stay with us. Second trophy coming next. Walter Ray Williams Jr., champion at the PBA 50 Pasco County Open.
Okay. It is.
Congratulations to both players. Walter Ray Williams Jr., both ranked all the way. Congratulations, guys. Stick around. We are going to have a post-game interview with John Mark and Mike J. Walter Ray Williams Jr. winning his 10th PBA 50 Tour title. Congratulations, Walter Ray.
Okay, I am here with PBA 50 Pasco County, Florida Open champion Walter Ray Williams Jr. Walter, it is now your 10th PBA 50 Tour title. How do you like the sound of that?
That sounds a lot better than 9.
A nice round number for you, right? Now, Walter, lane 24 was a bit of a mystery there for you in the title match. Right, that one right there. There you go. The ball was checking up on you for a few shots, and yet you figured it out late in triumphant fashion in that foundation frame, packing a clutch strike there. What adjustments did you have to make on 24 to get the ball to finally lay off for you late in the match?
Well, it was strange because I had that lane tighter, and then after Norm threw his practice shots, for some reason it hooked a lot more, and I just couldn't believe it. And Norm's ball had no problem, so it was kind of strange. And I just couldn't accept the fact that it was hooking. After 2 shots in a row, it's like, okay. Then I moved in, and it basically backed up and got a strike out of it. And then I got lucky in a 6th frame, and went to the nose for a strike. But you need those kind of breaks, or 7th frame. So it just. Norm bowled awesome today. I was pretty fortunate. I got a lot of strikes today, and fortunately I threw a few good shots when I needed to, and it's really nice to be in a winner's circle. And that ultimate nirvana did pretty well for me.
It sure did, Walter. And I have to say, when you joined us in the Xtra Frame booth, I think it was yesterday or the day before, after your first qualifying block, to be honest with you, Walter, you did not sound like a guy who necessarily saw himself winning this tournament. You were struggling quite a bit with that wet dry. You weren't quite sure what adjustment you were going to make. What adjustment did you make to turn things around in later rounds in this tournament?
Well, what's really, really strange is that ball I've been using like everywhere, and I didn't use it the first round. I was thinking I wanted a ball that hooked a little bit more to get away from the dry, and I just didn't quite read the lanes right. And then I finally went to that ball second game yesterday. It wasn't the first game, and I shot 220 and 220 with it, and like, that's not bad. And then all of a sudden, everything started falling. The last 5 games of then, and then all day today, I think I averaged over 250. And it's strange how things like that happen. And all of a sudden, my carry went from not very good to really, really, really good, and then breaking stuff up. And it's hard to say why that happens, but it does, and I'm glad it did to me.
Now, Walter, I know I don't need to tell you, lastly, it is not getting any easier to win on the PBA 50 Tour. News to you, I know it is. 171 combined PBA Tour titles in this Stepladder finals. And, you know, a lot of the guys that comprise those 171 titles were not out here when you first came out on the PBA 50 Tour. Norm Duke, Parker Bohn, Pete Weber, they've come since you arrived on the PBA 50 Tour, and they're not making it any easier to win. How much sweeter, then, is a win out here on the PBA 50 Tour when you see players of that caliber continue to become eligible and take their shot out here?
Well, I feel blessed of growing up in one of the greatest eras of bowling. I mean, you know, I've got so many contemporary guys I bowled against. I've got, you know, 30-something titles, and we got a couple guys that aren't bowling out here on the senior tour. But those guys are just unbelievably good, and I'm just happy that I was able to win a couple titles against them over the years, and hopefully I can win a couple more in the next few years.
All right, Walter, congratulations. Great bowling.
Thank you.
All right.